So I feel like, and we talked about this already, but I feel like I have to have a disclaimer, which is like, I feel like I've reached a certain level artistically, professionally, in a professional capacity. And so I'm not going to be able to help out with like how to land a job exactly. So I haven't done that myself. So you and I are going to be speaking specifically about what I feel like I can lend to you accomplished, or that I have inside those bounds. If I haven't really accomplished that thing, I'm not going to comment on it. I'll just point you elsewhere.
Good point. But I also feel like you're at a stage, you've reached a stage too that a lot of people aspire to, especially as beginning artists.
Okay, fair enough.
That's what I would say, where I would come from.
Yeah, well, you're interested in conventions. I feel like I can lend you that. And then style wise, content and stuff that you're creating, yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
The had agreed on was we'll do a Q&A thing for maybe 30 minutes, and then check out your Instagram feed and give you some feedback. Right?
Very cool. There may be like one or two. Yeah, no, I was looking forward to that. There may have been like, I think one, maybe two drawings I hadn't posted that are done, but yeah, I've definitely been posting with that in mind, because I do look forward to it too. After you gave me the most recent advice,
I did that change. Well, we'll talk about it when we get there.
Okay, all right.
We'll talk about it when we get there. So, all right, let's do some Q&A.
Cool. And unfortunately, I don't have an overly specific list, but I do have things I would like to ask. So currently I'm working on a project, and I think this is also very relatable too. Is, a friend comes up, they say, "Hey, I have a design I want to get drawn. Could you draw it for me?" So right now, this is a specific situation I'm in. Is a longtime friend of mine. He started his own company. It's doing really well. It's like a moving service, and I'm redesigning the logo for him, and it's coming out cool, and I do like it. But price wise too, I remember you also mentioning last time too the concept of doing work just to get your foot in the door. But then also too, like if you were to charge, how much? Just the financial aspect of charging for a logo, especially if it's like a logo for a business. So another logo, gentleman owns a golf course, and he's putting a brewery into it, and he wants the logo for both the beer label and shirts.
Yeah, I saw you were working on like a brewery label or something like that.
Right, and so I did that, and I haven't heard back from the gentleman yet either. But same thing price-wise, like, because the gentleman is also willing to pay. He owns a business. I just wouldn't even know where to start. And same thing, like I try to preach, I'd rather start off cheaper, but reasonable. So for your experience, if somebody says, "Hey, I want this logo done," how would you approach that? Because I did see you had like a Venom with some speakers around him that you done for a logo. I don't know if you just charge like a flat, just like a regular rate, like you would a commission.
That's what I do. So this is one of those areas where I think I can be of help, but I'm not a logo designer. I've done a couple. I don't. I just charge. I basically say, look, I'm going to charge you for commission. The Venom for that guy, it was like $100 today for a digital commission. That Venom. Basically, the way I'm going to treat this is as a digital commission. Gave me $100. I said, whatever you do with it after that is up to you. I'm not gonna like add on a price because it's a logo, or I just treat it as a regular commission.
So that's
my opinion.
Yeah.
Artists out there that will be like, no, you're gonna make money off this, or
royalties or whatever.
Yeah, but I'm not concerned about that. I'm not gonna like nickel and dime people. I'm not gonna try, especially if you said it's a friend. Like I'm just.
Yeah, for sure.
The other thing is, for me, like I'm not a logo designer. I don't feel very confident in that. The guy that got the Venom from me, he knew exactly what he wanted.
Okay, exactly.
Venoms. Yeah. The other one I did. Have I done any of the logos? I did a logo a long time ago, but it was pretty cheap. That was back when I first started out. It was like a barber shop, and he knew exactly what he wanted, and I drew it for him, and it was cheap. It was maybe $30. I wouldn't charge that now, but but beyond that, I haven't done any logos. I don't like doing logos, and I don't feel like it's a strength of mine. So I kind of pass on them.
But you've been approached also a handful of times.
Yeah, people ask me every now and then to design a logo, and I say no, it's not a strength of mine. And
Well, it's cool though that because a lot of, especially I think starting aspiring artists take any creative job they can find, but it sounds stupid. Graphic design is very different than comic books in some ways, like some essentials.
it really, really is. Even for my comic, I've designed a few logos for the
Yeah.
fact comic book.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't feel very strong in it, so I don't know if this is going to help you, but what I do is I take icons. There's this website called thenounproject.com, and it's all these like millions of icons that people have made and they sell for cheap. And I do the like a yearly subscription. I think it was like $20 maybe, and I download the icons that I want, and then I combine them to make the logos for my comic book. You know, all those logos I did recently.
Yeah, those are really good.
For like the soldiers and Earth and Law and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't exactly create those. I knew I like that piece. I like this piece, and I put them together, and then there's my logo. That's how I do logos. I don't feel like it's a strength of mine. I'm not familiar with vectors at all, so I wouldn't be able to do that.
Right.
Started looking into vectors. So if someone has a logo that fits into my regular commission, area or whatever,
mm-hmm.
like I just jump on it as a commission.
Okay, that's smart.
Yeah.
So the gentleman I'm working with now, Zach, the friend of mine, he same thing. He's really good. He knows exactly what he wants, and he sent me a bunch of references, and he's just like, this is good, but here are the exact changes that I want made, which is helpful for me because I don't know if also Joey Cabriel on Instagram, I think his name is. He's really good, but he uploaded this story. He was doing this rogue commission piece, and he would say, my client wants her more serious, and then he'd show the new drawing and be like, well, my client wants her doing more, I don't know if you saw that too, but then he had to do different iterations of it. So I don't know your experience of going back and forth too with a client, like if you draw something and then at the very end too, they wanted a background and he didn't know. And
the only time that I've had to like do revisions was my best friend. He was getting married, and his wife, or his fiance at the time, and him had asked me to do their wedding announcement.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to look like superheroes. So I was like, yeah, I can do that. Sounds fun. I didn't think I even charged them. I was just happy to do it. It's my friend. I'm not gonna charge him. My best friend since high school. I'm not going to charge him. I don't believe I charged him. Actually, I'm fairly certain I didn't because I was getting pretty obsessed. So they're not. They don't have superhero bodies. To put it, well, he does now. He's worked out, but so I took their faces and I put it into a superhero, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there was like, can you change this? Can you change that? And there was a revision after revision after revision. And I know for them it's a big deal because it's their wedding announcement.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually I hated it, and I just never done it. And there was no love in it. There was no passion in it. It was just the whole process I couldn't stand. By the end of it, I was just kind of pissed off, honestly.
Yeah.
I didn't even charge anything for that, so I don't do well with the revision thing.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, at this point, if I'm doing a commission, I don't charge enough to where they can do that. Like I charge, I feel I charge a fair amount. I will give you a quality piece of artwork
Mm-hmm.
for what I charge, right?
Right.
If someone was paying me like $200, I would do revision. That's fine. But for $50, it's not worth revision after revision. My wife. Hold on a second. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
For the Xbox controller.
You have the Xbox One, right?
Yeah.
That's cute.
I think so for me, just doing a commission, I haven't had to really deal with the back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, that hasn't really been an issue. But I can see that, like, if it's logo,
mm-hmm.
that people are going to want to get it just right, of course.
Right.
If you're going to do revisions, you can do it like you can have it. You should have it set out beforehand. I will draw one version or maybe 3 versions of you for of it for this price, and make one, or I will do one, and each revision costs.
And see, what I was going to mention also is I feel like, because this is something we spoke about before and we continue to speak about, which I'm still trying to finalize, is you have your style. And I think you have the ability to approach it like, this is what I draw, this is how I draw, and you have a portfolio to back that up, you have prints to back it up too. So somebody going in either knows off the bat whether or not they want what you have to offer. I think for a lot of still blossoming artists too, whose styles fluctuate.
Yeah.
Myself specifically, I think it is difficult to be like, this is what I have. I think it's easy to get inside yourself and be like, oh, if you don't like it, let me draw you something else. Would you recommend? So I think that the quicker you would find your style and get in the position that you're in, where it's like, this is what I draw, the easier it is to be like, here's what I'm going to give you, and then they don't have any question about it.
No, yeah. Well, I think when people buy from me, they're buying my style, and a lot of times I'll put in a little joke or sense of humor or something like that, so they know exactly what they're getting, and I think that I'll give them something that they're happy with, So they're not the revision thing hasn't really been an issue at all.
That's good.
And I honestly, it's again like what I charge is fair for the amount of work I put into it. So I don't think I would change things up. It's like, you paid me for this. This is what you got. Like you know what you're getting from me. So that's kind of it. I'm pretty cut and dry with it. But it hasn't come up yet.
That's good. That's good. I didn't know if logo wise, but no, knowing, because I remember too, you don't do faces, realism. You don't do pets, animals.
No pets.
So okay, so here's a broader question for the viewers. If you're starting off, would you recommend just taking anything you could, I guess you could phrase it as, taking any suggestion, like whether any type of commission until you find your exact style?
I think I did. Early on, I don't think I was turning away anything. So I don't think it's something I don't think I'd recommend turning away or not. It kind of depends on what you want out of it, Like if you want money, then take everything and don't turn it away.
Yeah.
But if you want to stick to a certain style or content, then you'll be turning stuff away.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
right.
I've told you, like, this is my career, so I pick the projects that interest me and that I think I'll do well at. For the most part, my own project is my focus. Right.
And that was, I'm sorry, you were saying?
No, I know, I don't know if you work full time. I know you have a job, but if you need the money, then you kind of need to take everything. I don't know where you're at with financially.
Right. Well, I think I would probably just take everything too, just because it would help you grow, and then you really know, like, if you spend a week drawing a stupid dog that they still don't like, it's like, I don't do dogs. I think that's where you can kind of learn what you do and don't enjoy drawing, because there's been some stuff that's like, oh, I haven't drawn it and I don't know if I'll enjoy it, and you end up loving it.
I think with logos, you do have to get it right, and they have to have ultimate say so of yes or no, like I will accept this, or you need to redo it or whatever. But with that in mind, I would recommend that you beforehand have it laid out. How many versions you're willing to do and how much those versions will cost, or how much each revision will cost. I think that's pretty standard. I've seen other artists do it like that.
That's super helpful. Yeah, so the beer label one, it's like there's a third party. My good friend Kay and his father runs like a shirt making business. And so the gentleman approached him, and then his dad's name is also Kay, and Kay approached me saying like, hey, we need a guy to design the logo. So I haven't heard anything from the actual person who needs the logo. But I did that rendition, and I haven't been putting too much time either, because neither of us have heard anything from Don, the guy I'm doing it for. So but I think having it laid out beforehand is very helpful, which is something I don't know that I did. But I have I have one iteration of it, but then I could probably give them prices and keep working on it.
Wait, so hold on.
Sorry, it's confusing.
Like you start a project without getting paid?
Because as a beginning artist, sometimes you have to take what you can get.
But you're not getting anything, you're giving.
Right, but I can get something. I just where to start. See, what I would charge, I might charge Zach is just $100 because I've already put a good 20 hours in. We're probably getting towards the end.
Whoa. You put 20 hours into something you haven't gotten paid for?
Because as a beginning artist, not knowing your prices, and not knowing the going back and forth situation, this is why we're having these talks, so I don't get screwed over. But it's like you were saying, it's like, I'd probably do it for free. I would, because I just a good friend of mine. But that's why for Zach,
well,
Zach's my boy. These other gentlemen, Don, who I'm sure is swimming in it, which is mean to say, I don't mind getting paid, but I haven't had contact with him. I just want to show him what I can do, so he can be like, damn, I want to pay this kid, and then I can set my price.
Has he asked you to do something?
I haven't. So there's me, Don, and Kay. Kay is making the shirts. Don needs the design. I haven't spoken to Don directly, unfortunately, but Kay has told me what he wants, what he thinks he wants, and what design he might need.
Working on a project that doesn't exist.
He needs it, and
no, dude. Like it's not a real project right now.
Right now,
it's not a project.
Mm-mm.
It hasn't sought you out. It sounds like, and maybe I'm getting confused here, but it sounds like you have a friend that knows you're a talented artist, right? And he recommended you to the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
But the other guy, between when he heard about you to whenever he decides to pay you, he might find another artist that he likes more.
He wishes.
He might not have seen your work at all.
Which is why I haven't invested any more time into it.
But you've already put 20 out. It's already done.
For my friend Zach, I put in maybe 20.
Okay.
For Dawn, I put in which is still a good chunk of time. I put in 5-6 hours.
That's a lot of time, man.
I mean, yeah, but when you're starting out and you just got to make a name for yourself in this competitive industry. So for Zach, $100.
Right. So, okay. When's your first convention?
November 4th and 5th.
So you've spent 26 hours on something you're not going to get paid for so far.
I haven't gotten paid for
it. Right. You have not gotten paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
So you might not even get paid for it. You could have spent that on, because you're not paid until you're paid, dude.
Right, but it's like you know money's coming sometimes. For Zach, let's assume $100 is guaranteed.
Brendon, you don't know that, and not until you get paid.
Okay.
It's not real until you get paid.
Mm-hmm.
So that 26 hours, you could have made how many prints? Like how many original finished pieces do you think you could have made that are all colored and everything?
I'm just gonna say 4.
I wouldn't doubt it. And I'm sure you could do more because I've seen the amount of work that you're creating now.
Yeah.
So you have some solid stuff out there. You can take any of that and color it and then have it printed out. So you used, I'm not trying to belittle you here.
No.
But you've given 26 hours to something that might not ever pay you because it's not real until it's paid. And you could have been putting that toward making prints for your first convention, which you will get money for if you sell stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like that convention is happening. You do have a table. That's real.
Yes.
Now it's just up to have content and to be able to sell it.
So this is why we're having these talks, is because
I come on too strong or anything like that.
No, not at all. And I do appreciate the honesty too, because it's in my mind it makes more sense, but to hear when you bring it down back to reality, yeah, I could have been putting that time into more prints because
Yeah. Now, if your goal is to become a logo or a label person, then it makes total sense for you to put this amount of time into it, even just to have something for a portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense, but I don't. I haven't gotten that from you, so I don't. It sounds like it's just something you're taking on in a friendly favor.
I mean, yeah.
With the hope of getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you got to figure out where your priority is.
I agree.
You know, if your if your priority is to make beer labels, then you're doing the right thing. If your priority is to make money at a convention and have stuff to show to other professionals there and make connections, like that's where your time should be going.
And there have been other projects too that I've spoken to people about, or they approach me, and I feel like I've made progress in the sense that now I've told people too, like, hey, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? The shirts, only because there was a sense of urgency behind them. I tried to balance between the shirts and preparing for the convention, but there have been other projects that I told them, like, I won't be free until November to work on.
Yeah.
Which that felt good, and that's why I plan and make lists and everything too, so that way I have a better idea.
Yeah.
Of a priority system.
We'll chalk this one up to time management and prioritizing. You got to work on that.
I mean, there we go. It's the name of the episode. And so I feel bad too. So, and that's why Friday night, I do apologize for not being able to come through, but I'm happy you're able to spend more time with the young one, making sure he's okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't have worked out anyways. It's whatever, dude. It's fine.
So then also too, I'm kind of beating myself up because I told my friend Justin, my other friend Justin, a couple months ago too. He works at an extended care after school program, and he asked if I'd be interested, and I was like, sure. So now I picked up another part-time job, and the only thing I thought as soon as I started, I was like, this is cutting into my drawing hours, because it is.
Yeah, it is, but you also need to have consistent money coming in just to live.
Yeah, I know. I have the full-time job already. Yeah, but it's the artist life we live,
No, stop. Why did you say yes to that job then?
Because I told him like a couple months ago. I was like, sure, and then it was kind of like, oh, later, and then it happened, and then he was like, oh, you still good to do it, right? And I was like, yeah, not really thinking it through, but it is very, very part-time, but it's still just
okay. But it's like it sounds like it's just difficult for you to say no to people in general.
Which I would argue a lot of people have that issue.
Sure. Especially with friendships, right?
I mean, but that's the thing too. I do want to help Justin out, and I don't mind it either because it is very manageable. It's just I think it was an interesting realization for me to think like hourly wise. It just really made me reevaluate what my time's worth, which is weird, which is cool.
Yeah.
And so that's why, and so I don't mind doing it too, but I was just thinking like this, like you just framed it right now, like that's 26 hours. I was like, it's 12 hours a week. I could be drawing, I could be doing this and that.
I think this is good for you because I think you're realizing that your time is limited. All of our time is limited, but
yeah,
projects you take on the less time you have, obviously.
Right, and I think that's what you were saying too. So with that it's called a future authoring program. It's just like you write stuff and try to like evaluate where you're at and where you want to go. It was interesting because it asks you all these questions, and one of them was like, what do you want to do in the future? Like, what's your ideal future? What's it look like? And as I was writing, it was all just convention scene artist, this and that. And it just for me, I found it very helpful to basically like know where you want to end up, so that way you can take actions now to hopefully end up there. But yeah, maybe just this last month, and on the subject too, I think I mentioned it briefly last time of being busy, doing stuff, but not actually getting anywhere. So you're running fast, but running in place. And so that's another reason I was hoping to like have these talks, so that way I could kind of reevaluate, like, yeah, I'm doing all these projects, but like, is it gonna get me to where I'd like to be? So that is a lot.
You're getting it. So yeah. To follow through with what you're understanding.
Yeah, right.
That you say no to people.
Yeah. It's getting. I'm getting better, but there's still a lot that I should be putting off.
Okay.
But
All right. Well, let's write that down as one of your goals.
All right. Yeah, for sure.
What's the goal here? Being able to say no.
I just say no to people. I say no to people all the time. I think you'd be surprised at how often I say no.
Dude, someone has not even asked you to do the beer label. Was that it, or the shirts?
It's a logo for both of them, I guess. I don't know.
But haven't been asked to do it. So you said yes to a question that wasn't even asked.
Mhm.
And does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. You have problems saying no to people.
But that's
So-
one instance. My friend wanted to hang out yesterday, and I was like, no, right? So that's a good.
Yeah.
I do. I think if it's art related, I say yes more often. If it's like art, design, label, sure. Like I think I'm more apt to say yes to art projects because, in theory, it would further.
Or school programs.
Well, it was supposed to be a comic book club.
So all right, whatever. The issue here is not saying yes or no. It's just time management.
Time man.
And prioritizing.
Organizing.
Prioritizing.
Prioritizing. Yes.
Do you agree with me that these are some issues we gotta work on?
Yes.
Are you saying yes because I want you to say yes, or because you actually?
No. I do think they are, but like, okay, I agree with you, but can I at least argue my case? Though I do agree with you.
Yeah, dude.
It's like I feel bad because a lot of the time. So Justin Friday was like, "Hey man, Saturday night, which was yesterday," and before we even finished it, and Justin's my boy, and that's another reason why I'd pick up the part-time job is because he works there, and I don't see him enough, and like we have creative ideas. Before he even finished the question, he was like, Saturday night, and I was like, nah, man, like I'm busy, and I turned down a lot of people pretty often too, just because I'm at a point where I'll plan my days out 2 or 3 days in advance.
What are you trying to?
And I say no to a lot of other people all the time because they want to hang out.
The point here is not yes or no. The point is time management. That seems like an issue for you. Am I wrong or no?
I mean, yes and no, because like I mean I'm drawing all the time. I'm literally
Yes, but
prioritizing. I mean, I would argue growth, but I don't know that it's the growth that I want to see. I don't think it's getting me to. So I think prioritizing more so than saying no.
We agree on prioritizing.
Prioritizing for sure.
And so to me, the time management thing, like when you tell me you put 26 hours into something that you haven't been paid for, they go hand in hand. Prioritizing and time management are going hand in hand. Because that time could have been spent on prints or on stickers or on buttons for the convention. So prioritizing and time management are going together, I think, in your case. So I will bet these are things that will keep coming up for us, right?
Okay.
I'm not knocking you on it.
No, you're right. This is shedding a new light, a new perspective, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is just it's making you the most efficient you that it can be by making better choices with what you want to work on and budgeting your time to be able to do so.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier too, just about like drawing, working, but like, is it getting me to where I'd like to be? You know, effective.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I just keep looking down because I'm scribbling.
I got you. So, so your first question was about logos. Did you feel like I answered that question effectively enough for you?
Yeah, no, it was a big help. Yeah,
Okay.
just having the set price, and then the Dawn guy too. Like I feel like I was, as I told you, pulling out stops for him when he hasn't. I sent him a text message, and I sent him a big email, and I sent him all the drafts, and I sent him revisions, and I haven't heard back from him yet. So I think I might just put him on the back burner for now.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at him. It's business, baby.
I think that's a good idea. I mean, you got to wait to hear about some
right
on their end, I think, before you put more time into that.
For sure. And I am happy that I gave him just something that he could see.
Yeah.
And I think the enticing concept of like the logos, at least right now, was the upfront, I guess you could argue short-term, initial, immediate benefit of like, oh, I will get paid for a logo. And the convention scene is more of a risk where it's like, would people like my stuff? You know.
I don't think it's as much of a risk because
right.
No. People conventions to spend money on nerdy shit.
It's a good way of looking at it.
As long as you have stuff worth selling, you'll make money.
Right, and I think that's what it is.
All right, but making a beer label for someone who has not asked you to, that's a huge gamble. That's the definition of a gamble. Okay, and it's not like you're giving them numerous options of like Harley Quinn and Batman and Ninja Turtles. It's like, here, do you like it or not, and will you pay me for it? Whereas at a convention, all you have to do is have quality content, which I think you will if you put your time into it.
Mm-hmm.
Have a variety of quality content that many people will walk by. People are more likely than not going to, and you're very friendly and personable.
Thank you.
You stand a much better chance of making money there at a convention than you would, I think, with trying to sell somebody on a label that they didn't ask you for.
Interesting. Because you're right. The way I viewed it is a gentleman who has the moolah needs a logo and needs an artist to design a logo. So I figured, but yeah, I guess he hasn't. We haven't talked.
I agree, but he hasn't asked you to. And if someone, so to me, if someone is serious about hiring an artist, they will go do it. He hasn't done it yet. So I don't know how serious this guy is. And if he has a lot of money, like, I'll be totally honest with you, he's going to hire someone that designs logos.
Yeah.
And has experience with it, and actually might have maybe he's seen someone's style he likes, so he's going to go to them directly. There might be people out there that specialize in designing beer logos. So to me, if someone's really serious about it, they're going to seek that out, and not say, hey, can your friend draw something for me? Like, something doesn't seem right about that. I hope it works out for you. I really do.
Yeah, but that's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah, but in the meantime, it's like you're spending a lot of time on something that might not go anywhere.
Right. But for Zach though, Zach's a good friend of mine, and honestly, like, for a year, because I drew him something when I worked with him 10 years ago, and for 10 years he's been like, hey, draw for me. So Zach, I don't mind as much, and his isn't very demanding, where he knows exactly what he wants. He's like, change that. So it's not as much time. But sorry, I'm plugging my computer in. Got to do some reevaluation. But yeah, I have been drawing the prints, and then Inktober too. I was talking to somebody about it, where like Inktober is cool, but I don't like that I've fallen behind in my prints. But I'm spending way more time than I need to.
Sorry, you're always thought it was the top of your head there.
Sorry, all those beautiful curls.
Say that again about Inktober.
I was just spending more time than I need to on these drawings, because in a perfect world, the drawing exercise we did is I'd do a half-hour drawing and then be done. But for the prompts, like, I've been spending too much time on it, so which I also feel like is an excuse. But it's like that's time I could be putting into a print to sell.
Yeah, I don't get the feel that you're taking this convention seriously.
I may have fallen off a little bit priority-wise, because it's so off in the future and it's difficult to.
It's not. It's really not. You said it was in November.
I tell me about it.
This is the end of October. Like, so you had a lot of time because you signed up back in June.
Yeah.
It's no longer a lot of time. You should have been producing stuff, and I'm sure I told you this. But conventions aren't something you just walk into.
Right.
Hope. You need to plan. You need to take it seriously. That's how you make. That's part of making money, is taking it seriously. People will feel that. They'll see that. Walk in with black and white little booklets that you guys did that for. You're probably not going to do very well. You can feel you didn't put enough love into it. So you need, in my opinion, you need to like immediately begin taking this more seriously and putting more time into it. If you don't care about it, don't do it.
No, but I do. But
it's an opportunity for you to make some money and make connections.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I'm taking notes. I'm sorry. I'm just re-sparking myself. So for the convention, okay. Would you recommend, well, just print stuff out, have prints, commissions?
We've
been over this.
Well, yeah, but what is it? I don't understand what's stopping you from moving forward with it.
Convention scene?
Yeah.
Well, when I was reevaluating the future goals, the convention scene, one stupid thing, excuse my language, I'm stupid. One dumb thing that I used to talk myself out of doing the convention scene is the initial sign-up fee, where it's like, oh man, $50 for a table? Whoa.
Yeah.
It's stupid. So, but what would be helpful is because I understand they have a website, a website that shows you all the conventions and just to sign up from up front. And I think that's a fund I could actually find help with paying for. But I just think a good excuse for me to talk myself out of it is the initial sign up fee, but also too, like,
that's what I'm getting from you is like, why are you psyching yourself out of this?
because I also don't know talent wise if I am there yet.
Okay.
Because I haven't found my style.
All right.
But I feel like I'm getting there. I feel like I'm growing. And I think more conventions, I'll grow faster.
Your insecurity, and like I feel insecure about myself too when it comes to achieving certain things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like your insecurity is kind of the best of you.
And I think this is something that a lot of people struggle with, not just me.
That's why I'm saying, me too. You're not alone. Absolutely not.
But like a lot of beginning artists too, and that's why I'm glad and happy that we're doing these videos and streams too, because
so it's okay that you feel insecure. It's normal. We all, right? But you're letting it stop you from moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I deal with my insecurities, I get really stressed out and I not overdo things, but I kick ass. Like I make a list of what to do. I get it done. I soothe my anxieties by being productive, and you're doing the opposite. You're taking steps backward.
I think a lot of people, what I experienced, which I would argue a lot of people do too, is when they feel that anxiety, the best thing to do is like what you do is tackle it head on. I think a lot of people just stop in their tracks, which I think is what I've experienced the last week or two.
That's what you're doing.
Just somebody made a good analogy about like pulling the emergency brake, and people come by and say, "Hey, do you need help?" And you're like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah.
I can't remember, but yeah.
That's exactly what I'm hearing you say. So, do you want to do the convention or not?
Yes.
All right.
And that's
what will help you deal with the insecurity? Will making a plan help? Will just be being productive? Do you need to have comments, like positive comments? What's going to help you out?
Okay, to be honest, I think these talks are what's best for me, just because it helps me reevaluate where I'm at. It gives me an honest reevaluation of where I'm at, what my priorities are. Because as you've seen, I couldn't do it. It's more difficult for me to do it for myself.
Yeah.
So, like I said, these talks are very helpful.
Okay. You're probably not going to, even if let's say you do suck as an artist, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're probably not going to be the worst one there. There's some pretty shitty people that end up in.
And that's the thing too, is like it's I feel like I'm at a good point where I'll draw something and be like, man, I like that. It's not the best, but I'm just happy with it now, at least.
And the headspace that you need to be in, your strengths are being very personable and smiley and friendly.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You can knock that out of the park. So when it comes to engaging people, and you and I did a lot of this when you did the conventions with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have that down. That's not a problem for you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, fine. So the engagement part should not be an issue for you. The only issue for you is having content to sell.
Right.
So you're not a bad artist to where I would say don't bother. You are able to create.
Thank you.
In a way that is worth buying. Like that Godzilla piece was fucking phenomenal. I love that thing.
Thank you.
So you have it within you.
Mm-hmm.
You do, all right? Do you know that?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So now all you got to do is put those two things together. You can sell it and you can create it. That's a convention.
Yeah. I just think I said, like I said, the creative process is where I have hesitancies. Where it's like I wish I could every piece was like that Godzilla piece,
No. What about the creative process? You're creating daily. I'm seeing you.
Yeah, I am. But I just like there's some pieces you do. It's like, damn, that's good. I wish every piece I did was like that.
That's all of us.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So everything you're going through is normal. Congratulations. Now you just move forward.
Yeah, so I guess for the next 2 weeks, I just got to put the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you need to definitely be focusing on having stuff that's worth that you sell. Yeah.
Yeah, And that's a balancing act too, where it's like quantity versus quality, I guess you could say. You know.
Yeah.
What
Quality. Yeah.
what are you?
You want quality over quantity.
What are some quick notes for also the viewers and listeners? What are some quick notes that you would recommend going into convention, just on that idea?
I have quality over quantity.
Or just between the two.
You need to have better quality over quantity. So for you, let's make I want you to have a plan because you're stressing me out with this 2 weeks.
Tell me about it. Sorry.
I'm getting anxiety for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
So I need you to have a solid plan that you're going to follow through. You have to starting tonight. I don't care about your notes.
It says plan.
Plan. So realistically, what can you accomplish between now and actually to have print? Are you printing from home or are you going to order them?
I'm printing from, UPS down the street.
Okay. So you need to allow, they'll probably have it done the same day, but I like to allow 2 days ahead of the convention in case something goes wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So between now, what's the day of the convention again?
The 4th and 5th, Friday night we can go set up.
Let me look at my calendar. So you have the 4th?
The 4th and the 5th, yeah.
All right, so that means by October, let's say by November 1st, you need to be ready. You need to have your prints ready. It might. I don't know. Do you want to do stickers and buttons, or is that too much?
How difficult is that? Let me see where I'm at budget-wise too.
You have the content for it. You can do an order tonight and have them to you pretty quickly. It might be a little thin, so I don't know if you want it. Honestly, that might become a stress for you at this point. So you might want to focus on just having originals in print.
Because I don't want to color them first too.
So realistically, your goal should be to having prints and originals.
And when you say originals,
your actual drawings.
I could sell those, you think? Yeah, I guess so, huh?
You can put them up for sale. Whether or not they sell is up.
Like I'm just. Okay, yeah, that's not important. Okay, prints originals, November 1st. Which
by November 1st, you need to have that stuff in place. Now, on top of this, you probably didn't get ready any signage.
Good call.
Table display.
What would you have for display? Like, I'm trying, because I like the sign that you have, but
just to plan out what you're going to have there. So, do you have a portfolio? Anything to put in?
I have an empty one.
Okay.
Okay. I got some pages in there. I guess I could go through and find the strongest pages.
Okay. How big is it?
The 11 by 17, pretty sure.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. I don't know. Realistically, do you think you'll have 11 by 17s that you can sell on a print size or original size?
No.
Okay. So you might want to work smaller scale, high quality on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
This can be very doable, right? Right. So that Godzilla piece, you can scan that and have that printed out as many prints as people might buy that at like a 4x6, or 5x7 or something, or maybe even 8x10. But that's a solid piece that's ready to go.
All right. All right.
People may buy. People, fans of Godzilla or whatever, those nerds.
It's my client base.
So that's a solid, piece right there. And you wouldn't blow it up to 11 by 17, but that's something you could sell for cheap at like a 4 or 5x7. Or even, do you have business cards? You're killing me. I know you're not gonna.
Dude, tell me about it. I have those shitty ones.
So no. All right.
No.
All right. So
I'm right there with you, man.
your goal needs to be to have mini prints. Because maybe 8x10 might be your biggest size.
Okay.
What do you think?
8, that's good. No bigger than 8x10. And then, I'm sorry, on the very brief subject of business cards, as I had a website, but I don't. I don't want to worry about that for now.
Don't worry about that. We'll get there.
Okay. Okay.
For now, you need to have a focus on what content you're actually going to bring in.
So printing content is my main focus.
Yeah, you have to have something to sell. So the originals, whatever, and you might be
I'll put them out there.
too choosy about what originals, but if you know it sucks, or don't bring it. But you should have a binder of originals.
Okay.
I don't want you laying shit out on the table. That's tacky. Okay. I did that for my mini prints, but I also had the portfolio.
Yeah, no, yours looked a lot better.
And the gimmies, the one that people like that I want people to go through that you laid out, it's fun to go through stuff and find something, But for you, I prefer to see you make good use of what space you have, and not have a bunch of crap lying around, because you're already going to walk in unprepared. We're trying to reduce the amount of unpreparedness.
Right.
This is to you need to look like you knew what you were doing, at least, right? So having a decent display, and that could be just the 11 by 17 portfolio with. You're not going to have 11 by 17, but you could put like a couple of drawings in there per 11 by. You might be able to fit a couple of them in per page. It's an option. What I really recommend is if you can afford it, go out and get like an 8 by 10 portfolio.
Because a lot of what my finished, more original artworks are on the Bristol board you gave me.
Okay.
10 by 12?
That's 9 by 12.
Yeah.
Put that in the bigger portfolio that you have.
Okay.
It's not ideal, but whatever, it's fine. So all right, anyhow. So I want you to have one portfolio for the originals. That way people know where to go for originals. And that's from what you have available as a print. If you're going to go small, you can do, if you have just some sort of like shelf sort of thing, people can look through it with their fingers, Smaller portfolio for what I did was I had just a regular binder. I don't carry it. I didn't do it with you anymore, but I had it's like a binder, like a school binder, And the insert pages that I would use, the clear inserts.
Yeah.
It fit like 2 or 3 4 by. I think it's fit 2. It fit a couple of 4 by 6s in it, so people would flip through, and it is like my portfolio, my binder full of mini prints. Does that make sense?
Yeah. 4 by 6, yeah.
Yeah, and so if you wanted to, you could have a binder of mini prints. I think mini prints are more fun to go through, to look through, to have to rifle through basically, and try and find that little treasure in there, or whatever. I don't think they work as well in a binder. I don't know, it just doesn't feel right to me. So that's an option for you, is to find either a binder for your mini prints, or for mini prints, or to have some sort of just simple display where people can like look through them physically.
Okay.
If you're going to go as big as 8 by 10, you could put it in the binder. That's a little bit more professional. That can work.
All right. And thank you again for helping me.
Sure. But so out of those, what do you think is doable for you? Those are just some ideas.
Let's go portfolio for sure, of course.
8 by 10s?
I'm sorry?
For the 8 by 10s?
Yeah. Yeah. Portfolio for the prints. Because I'm thinking for the portfolio, I can have the originals and then one of each print, and then have the actual prints. Because I have 8 right now prints.
Between now and the 3rd. No, sorry, the 1st. Between now and the 1st, you need to figure out what you can print out as a mini print or as an 8 by 10. Right?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if I sent you, because I have, okay, can I tell you what I kind of have right now?
No.
Okay.
We're going to make a plan first.
All right,
so
plan.
By the 1st,
you
need to decide what will be a mini print or a regular or an 8 by 10. Okay, so we'll call them
mini and 8 by 10
mediums.
All right.
So decide what they are. Have them printed out by the 1st. That's your goal.
Okay. Perfect.
That also, so that gives you time to look through stuff and pick it. That also gives you time to, if you wanted to create a couple more solid pieces, you could easily do that. You could totally do that.
You're right.
Especially with the Inktober, like you should be drawing daily for them, right?
Yes, and that's why I cut back, is because I want to focus more.
So between now and then, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more days. You potentially could have 9 more black and white originals, and those could be minis or 8x10s. So you potentially could have 9 more pieces.
Okay, that helps to realize it.
Yeah, that's right. And then plus you have stuff already that I think might be worth selling.
Okay.
And I believe you have some stuff that you've started and haven't finished.
Yes.
So you have plenty. You should have enough content if you focus and use your time wisely.
Okay. And this does help me refocus. Thank you, because I have the mental issue of deciding what to invest in.
Well, this is your goal for the. So that means no make-believe logo projects between now and.
It's gonna be a good beer, trust me.
The weekend. So between now and the 5th, it's the 4th and the 5th, right?
Mm-hmm.
So between now and the 5th, there's no more wisely spending your time. All right, so that's your goal, and we'll leave it at that for now.
Okay.
But, as far as display, you have the cubes, right, that I gave you?
Yes, and the magnets.
Those are worthless unless you have something.
I just want you to know that I have them.
Good. Well, the cubes are worthless unless you have something to actually put on them.
You're right.
So for what you're doing, I don't think you need to put those up, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
At least not the huge display that you don't need to have.
I might use some just for leverage.
Yeah. Maybe a couple of cubes. I don't know how big it's going to be, but I think there's actually an artist I have in mind that I want you to look at that you could easily emulate. And I think with the black and white ink thing you're doing right now, you could easily fit into that, the way he has things.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you him in a minute. But I don't think you need to go big. You don't need to have a backdrop of a whole bunch of crap. I think what you're going to be aiming for is more intimate, personal, one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
Come by, they're not going to be. I don't think they'll be overwhelmed by colors and ridiculous big prints and the huge backdrop of crap. It's going to be you as a person saying hi, and that's what's going to pull them in my opinion. And then you're going to invite them over, and they're going to portfolios. I think that's where you get your sales from, rather than people just walking by and seeing something.
Away. Yeah, for sure.
Just because you don't have the big things to.
Nah. Okay.
So I think your goal is to go simple but intimate.
That's hot. What? No, yeah, thank you. That's a good point.
All right. Is that doable?
That's very doable.
So, okay. What we can do is that's your goal in your timeline, right?
Okay.
Focus.
I'm sorry?
Hopefully that helps you with your focus.
It very much does, because not to make excuses, but I was having difficulty with our focus on, so this is extremely helpful. Thank you.
So what we can do with, do you have more time to talk?
Yeah, I do. What I was also hoping to, if not right now, but maybe towards the end, is I was hoping I could still get critiqued on my Instagram.
Yeah, I want to do. I want to. It's going to be really brief.
Okay.
But let's look through what you have there. Maybe we can find something that's worth making prints of.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know, man. Like I said, I know no is an issue for me, but if I know what I need to do, like I feel like I can allot my time very efficiently in that aspect.
What do you mean?
Like if I have 9 days to make X amount of drawings, I feel like having that very specific.
Yeah, but that's you have 9 days. You have 9 days if you need to. All right.
Yeah.
You actually could have 9 more days of solid work that is worth printing or buying as a.
That's a good point too. Can I also tell you one of the pieces of advice I had mentioned in one of my posts that you'd given me with the Usagio Jimbo pants, and you were like, oh, when you had pointed it out, it did look tacky in hindsight. So that was one of the. better piece of advice you gave me.
I have good advice. See the work there?
Who's that cutie pie?
Can you see the work?
Yeah, it's showing up.
Hang on a second. Okay. All right, so
Yeah.
I'll read this in 10 minutes.
All right, done and done it.
We're selling here. People like Bruce Lee. This is not a bad piece at all.
You know, I like this one a lot, man.
All right, I think it's something that might look kind of cool on somebody's wall and might be worth picking up.
Mini.
That's kind of, I guess, right now what I'm looking for is like what might be worth selling, what might people buy, and you never really.
Okay, you're right.
But as far as I don't want to go too deep into an actual critique.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems it's all right.
Oh, man, the line work though.
Yeah, that's actually what kind of bothers me.
But it's the same thing as the Godzilla piece with that intimate hatching. I thought you'd love this one.
It's a solid piece, yeah.
All right, thank you.
We'll leave it at that.
Thank you.
And if you're going to make prints of these, you'll have to find a way to get rid of the words.
Yeah, that's an easy fix. Photoshop.
That's all right. I don't think people are too into Scorpion, but that's a pretty cool little piece. So.
Thank you. Yeah, and I don't know if it's convention worthy, and I was gonna just bring that sketchbook too, just so people could at least look through it, you know?
Yeah, there's something about your line work that makes it seem very static. I'm not sure how to describe it better.
No. Yeah, but you love this piece.
That's cool. Yeah, this is a cool piece. I can definitely see fans of Swamp Thing, picking this up.
Oh, thank you.
Line work, the cross hatching is bothering me. I don't know what it is.
Wait, but you like Godzilla, but you don't like.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that.
Okay. Be cute.
One too. This is like the style that I use. The cross hatching.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying with the blocks. Like it looks a lot better.
This is a pattern. It's nice. It looks nice. But the other ones, I don't know. Something bugged me about it. I'll keep thinking about that.
Okay.
Mega Man's cool. That's pretty dope.
Thank you.
So this could be something that you would sell as a like a 4x6.
Yeah.
I think I would recommend you do. For some reason, it feels like doing these things on matte paper might be better than glossy. Because black, I think matte looks better.
Wonderful recommendation. Thank you much.
Yeah. The Creepy Joker might be cool. That might be worth it.
Yeah.
You know what? Turtles should be, because this is like a reptile / comic convention.
Well, that's why the reason I did all those 4 buses for this thing specifically.
And you're also they're gonna have who is it? Kevin Eastman there.
Kevin Eastman, right? So that's Kevin Eastman, also the girl that voiced Tinkerbell in the Peter Pan movie. So if I want to do a Tinkerbell print too,
you might want to have one solid Tinkerbell, but yeah, having the turtles there, because people might want to get a turtle and then have it signed by Eastman. So I think these will be worth having. I don't think you were done with these yet, were you?
I was going to color them.
With the amount of time you have left, you could, if you feel like you can do a good job, but if you can do it solid black and white, I think it's fine too.
Shit. Well, because I have full body pieces too.
Maybe at least coloring the turtle ones. I don't know. I guess it's up to you, but just again,
time.
So I don't know how much time do you want to put into coloring versus.
Yeah, coloring does take a minute.
But yeah, coloring the turtle might be a good idea. Usagi might be worth selling as a print. Yeah.
Oh, what? You hated his pants.
Bother me, but if I was you, I would. Since you have the outline right here, makes no sense. So if I was you, I would either
fill it in.
I would probably just fill it all in, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
There is kind of a light source, so you could add some wrinkles to it in white, like a white gel pen.
Right.
On this side over here, you could throw in a couple wrinkles here and there if you can pull it off. But I think doing it flat black would be better than what you have right now.
Okay.
Your what do you call these things down here? The rock or whatever you're standing on?
Yeah.
looks like your ink was getting dry. I don't know if you're trying to pull off texture there. So.
I was pulling off texture there.
Well, you tried to, but I don't think you pulled it off.
All right, well, I can touch it up in the Photoshop.
Yeah, well, or just go back into it and use
Black line. Yeah.
Because it just looks like you ran out of ink rather than texture. It doesn't look like it. It looks like you ran out of ink.
That Breaking Bad?
Yeah, I think this would be worth selling as a mini print.
Oh, you think? I guess so, huh?
That's pretty cool. But same thing. You ran out of ink right here. So.
It's
It's what?
It looks like it's coming at you. It's like a faded, blurry perspective.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because the focus is on his eyes. Because of the photo I was referencing too, it was really blurry in the foreground.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see what you're saying.
I like the effect.
This is cool. I can see. I don't know if you'll sell any, but I don't know if you sell any of these things. You never know. But
right.
Cool. This is a cool little piece that someone might want to have up in their wall. Yeah. Darkwing Duck. That's worth a mini print.
You think?
Yeah, that's cool, man.
All right, thanks, dude.
And I don't know if people are going to buy these. You never know. But if you have, there could easily be a fan of Darkwing Duck that's going to see this as like a black and white mini print on like matte paper and be like, yeah, this is cool. I want to own this.
All right, that's a good point. And sorry, quick question: how many mini prints of like just kind of depending on like what I think would do better than others?
That's usually what I do, but really, you never know. Mm-hmm. So this isn't a huge convention. Your first one, I'd recommend maybe doing 3 or 4 of each.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Not much, and then what you can do is even put on each one, it's signed and it says 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3.
Oh, cool. Okay.
A little bit extra incentive for someone to pick it up.
Right.
So anyhow, Nate D. This is cool, and he's local in Stockton. You're doing Trace. That's not too far away, so that might be something. But it's a pretty cool little piece too. Who's this guy?
Oh, just some Instagram dude, buff guy I follow. Bradley Martin. Just whatever.
Might be tipster.
I don't know if anything, to be honest with you, I don't know anything that's going to be down would be print worthy.
Bane.
Stupid ass Bane.
This is a cool, like stuff like this. I don't know if he pulled it off right here, but this is a cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
The wording behind it. Who is this?
That's my boy Sharif.
Okay. But if you like doing portraits, doing a portrait of your favorite hip hop artist with like some of their lyrics behind them.
Yeah.
That could be cool in black and white as a little mini print. This Joker, if you fleshed it out a little bit more, maybe. Even the way it is right now, it might be worth a mini print. What about this one, dude?
Oh shit! I forgot it existed.
Do you have prints of this already?
No, dude.
That one's ready to go. There you go.
Percy, look at that. I was way more prepared than I thought.
Yeah. So this could definitely be an 8x10. I don't know what you intended it for.
Just to have in case situations like this.
There you go. That's an 8x10. I would do 8x10. Maybe even
8x10. Okay. Cool.
Maybe that actually might be the most popular one since it's done.
Yeah.
Solid piece. That's cool.
Thank you.
We have a few of those minis and mediums. The cross hatching style we use, and this is not the same as the other ones.
I don't know, man.
This will work. This is a solid piece. I think is worth having a couple of minis.
Thank you.
That's cool. And then this is one that I think would look cool with down here. Can you see my arrow, by the way?
Yeah.
Right. So down here in the putting your 1 of 3 or whatever.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
Damn, Inktober of last year.
God, yeah, you're definitely producing more. All right, so this stuff is probably too long.
Yeah.
I like your use of black and white here. See, like that could easily be a mini print.
Oh.
I think it could. I mean, it's you've probably grown a lot since then, but this is simple. It's cool. We're looking black and white on the wall here. Same thing with this. Nothing wrong with that at all. That can work as a mini print. This one looks like it had potential, but you stopped.
Oh, that was it was a very quick sketch.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe.
That's cute.
Yeah. This one had some life to it.
Oh, same thing. I hate that one.
It's got some energy to it, which is cool. But yeah, but yeah, there you go. So I think you have a couple things you could work with right away.
Okay.
Um,
And I can always just recommend them to the Instagram page too for the exposure.
what was that?
I can always just recommend them to the Instagram page too for the exposure if I can't, make mini prints of everything.
Yeah, I guess. I wouldn't be. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, we're back. We're back.
Yes. Yes.
So those are just a bunch of things you can have right off the bat. Plus, you have 9 days to create 9 more pieces if you want. Your goals are 8x10s for minis and mediums. And by November 1st, that'll give you time to prepare for the weekend. But you really gotta focus it.
So would it be asking too much to have another one of these talks before the convention?
You might be able to. On Saturday night, I won't be able to.
I mean, let me know too if you want to look at your schedule.
We can. It might have to be more of like an impromptu thing. Like I can say Friday night, but
Yeah.
figure it out after this. All right.
Okay.
But I'm going to stop the broadcast here. Thanks for doing the first one with me. This is fun.
Thanks for joining us, guys.